Many of us know what it feels like to be in a bad job, but how do you know if you're in the right or wrong career? Today, we're going to talk about that. My name is Tom, and I'm the founder of Vertical Motion, where we help mid career professionals become executives. If that's interesting to you, if you're someone with more than 10 years of experience in the work field, and maybe you've managed a few people at least in your career, and you're interested in taking the next step up in your career towards the executive level, right? So, VP, C suite. If that's interesting to you, then book a call down below, and you and I will talk one to one to see if you might be a fit to work with me to take that next step. The alternative here is you can also watch this video, which will tell you everything about what you need to do in order to actually take the step from where you are to the executive level, with or without a coach's help. So hopefully that video is a lot of value for you. So tell me if this sounds familiar to you. So you've started in a new job, and it's either a lateral or slightly higher role than you were just in at your previous employer. And you were glad to get out of that previous employer's building. It was just, it had gotten so bad and it was frustrating and things had changed so much, and it was time to go. And so here you are in this new company and you're excited and it's like, okay, let's get going. But after about 6 months, you kind of lose that enthusiasm. And after about 2 years, you don't want to be there anymore either. And then you start looking around, and in about 3 years, you wind up leaving, and it feels exactly like how it felt leaving the place before that. And this pattern repeats over and over and over. Like, take a look back at all of these jobs. Was it you showed up somewhere and you were excited to be there, then you lost enthusiasm, then you got exhausted and disgruntled, and then you had to leave and move on to somewhere else, where you started that cycle all over again? My theory is that that's not necessarily a sign of the company failing. It's that you might actually be doing the wrong job for who you are as a person. So if you think about it this way, we all have a cup and we can fill that cup. And then from that cup, we can pour. And the pouring is the work that we do for our company. Pour that cup out Monday through Friday, and then we take a break on Saturday and Sunday and let that cup refill. And then we pour it out Monday through Friday and on and on. After several years, if we're doing something that's not rejuvenating and joyful, then that cup is eventually going to be completely bone dry empty on Tuesday. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get to Friday exhausted, burnt out, and unhappy. And then weekend isn't necessarily filling the cup to the brim. It's just putting some moisture in it, which is enough to get you through Monday, 10 a.m. What's happening here is that we all have sets of skills and we all have abilities that we can get paid for and that we're good at. But we also have things about us that we love to do. And there are things that we want to do that serve a higher purpose in our lives, whether that's helping the community or something else, right? When you are in a job where you can get paid very well for what you do and you're very good at what you do, that's only half of the equation. The second half of the equation is doing work that you love and doing work that is meaningful to you, that you can see a larger world impact for that work. If you don't have all four of those aligned, if you don't have all four of those in the work that you're doing, then you're not necessarily going to be filling that cup up every week. Instead, with only half of your life purpose needs fulfilled, you're going to drain that cup over time. It's frustrating because not many of us really think about this consciously. I certainly didn't, not until last year. It was the first time that I really thought about things in terms of, I'm really great at what I do. I make great money doing what I do. I dabbled in occasionally. Some of my work would be stuff that I actually enjoyed doing and stuff that I thought was meaningful and impactful to the world, but that wasn't always there for me. And so this was the pattern that I experienced, where I would work somewhere 3, 4, 5 years and burn out, and then do it again, 3, 4, 5 years, burn out, and so on and so on. So these are telltale signs that you are possibly doing the wrong job or you're in the wrong career. So if you're job hopping from company to company and you're in this same career as you're moving along, well, that's what you're good at and that's what you're known for and that's what you get paid the most to do, right? It could be a situation where you're doing this, but you're doing something that at the end of the day will always fail you. So ask yourself this series of questions to determine whether or not you're actually in the right career. Number one, are you job hopping every 2 to 3 years because you love the new place and hate the new place rinse and repeat. Number two, do you feel like when you show up at a company, everything is great, but then within 2 to 3 years, the company itself is declining? Number three, ask yourself, do you actually connect well with your colleagues and the people that you work with in the company? Number four, ask yourself, do you feel fulfilled with the work that you do? Is this something that brings a sense of completeness to you? And then finally, number five, ask yourself if you feel valued where you are. Do you believe that the people around you see the value that you bring? You may be bringing tremendous value that has nothing to do with your job description. You may be somebody who is really great at all of these things that the job description doesn't necessarily ask for, but you've convinced yourself and maybe those around you that those skills that you have are actually really important to the job description. So depending on how you answer these questions, this is going to help you determine whether or not you might or might not be in the right career for you. You might be very good at these things and you might get paid very well for these things. And you might just be telling yourself, suck it up and deal with it because, you know, you got to make a certain amount of money to pay for things. But is that how you really want to live your life? Do you want to spend 40 years of your life doing something you hate in exchange for money that is only going to give you things that don't necessarily fill that cup for you? You might want to take a step back and do a little bit of self-reflection on who you really are and what your true life purpose is, and how can you work in a way that helps you be more aligned with your life purpose, which in turn will light you up like a Christmas tree. And so you'll look forward to the work that you do, even if it is tough and difficult work. Take a step back and think about where you are in your career, why you are there, and what you would rather do instead of what you do every day. If you want to learn more about this, I just made a video not too long ago. This video will show you how to think about your life purpose. And so be sure to check that one out. If you got any other questions, you want to talk more about this topic, book a call down below and you and I can talk one-to-one about how we might help you change your career and also move up to the executive level at the same time. So that's it for today. I hope you all have a great week and I will see you again later.